My dad passed away about 7 years ago. And when I went home for the funeral, I came back to work afterwards, and people were like, where were you last week? And I said, oh, my dad passed away. I was at his funeral. And everyone would say basically some version of, oh, my condolences. I'm so sorry. And then they would move on to other stuff because they didn't know what to say. They were worried about saying the wrong thing. They were worried about it being awkward. But like, I had just been thinking for the last week all about my dad. Like, this is like the biggest thing in my life. If someone had said, what was your dad like? Like, tell me about him. I would have loved that. Right? It would have felt like such a gift for someone to say, like, tell me about the eulogies. What did people say about him? What was amazing? So oftentimes we avoid the conversation not only because we're worried about something we don't want to talk about, we avoid the conversation because we are worried that we will talk about something and we don't know how to handle it. And the answer is the best thing we can do is to ask that deep question.
Shout out to my friend Claudette who sent me that video simply to illustrate exactly what I want to emphasize when it comes to saying the phrase, my condolences, to someone who may have lost someone recently or lost someone a while ago. So I want to give credit to Front Row Seat with Ken Coleman, who had his guest, Charles Duhigg, a journalist and author of The Power of Habit. So I want to say that my condolences is a phrase that seems to be an open and shut phrase for conversation. As soon as it's said, when somebody tells you that they lost somebody, people are quick to say, my condolences, and then hope to, get out of that awkward situation of conversation that they may not want to have with that person. But I do want to offer 3 options to say after the words, my condolences, could be said to someone that shares such sensitive news to you. And again, shout out to those who gave me DMs on their options of what they would like to hear someone say if they were in that situation. So thank you for sharing with that. The first option I'd like to offer is simply honest support. Instead of ending the conversation with my condolences and hoping to change the topic, you could simply say, you know what? I don't know quite what to say right now. I don't have the perfect words to tell you, but I'm here for you. I'm here as a friend. I'm here to offer a shoulder or just someone to simply sit with in silence. Anything you need from me, let me know. Give me a call. This flips the I'm sorry. This flips the my condolences into a conversation that offers genuine presence from you. Someone will appreciate the honesty of not knowing what to say to make you feel better. And just from personal experience and from others who have shared, and even me being on the other side of having to say my condolences, and probably I don't have the best words to say to somebody, honesty usually is very much appreciated. And even when someone is not able to receive those words, my condolences, please don't take their reactions personally. When someone is grieving, give them their space and know that their feelings are simply raw and sensitive in that moment. So it's nothing to do with you. The second option I want to offer is simply respecting their space. Sometimes the best support is permission not to talk about it and not to talk about the person that they've lost. You could simply say, you know what, I know this is a raw moment for you, and you may not want to go there right now. So if you'd rather chat about something else or hang out quietly, that's okay too. You acknowledge their needs instead of guessing at them. Again, I think someone would appreciate the idea that you're respecting their space, and when they're ready to talk about that person, you're offering that to them and they'll hold that dear to them. Again, your intentions are pure. The last point I want to offer is simply inviting their story. Just as Charles had described, that he would have loved somebody to talk or ask him about his dad. What was he like? You can invite that person to talk about their loved one. And again, it depends on who you're speaking to, right? If you have a relationship with them, and even if you don't have a relationship with them, you could be offering a chance for that person to start healing in their grief. You could say something, I'd love to hear about that person who you just lost. What made you laugh? What was your favorite memory about them? Tell me your story. Tell me your story. What was life like with them? What do you remember best about them? You transform an awkward moment into a chance for a healing conversation. So with that being said, the three options that I want to offer you, I just want to recap, is simply offering yourself, honoring their space, and inviting their story. You're turning anxiety into connection. And the next time that you hear somebody share a loss of somebody that they love or someone that was dear to them, you may be surprised at how much better the conversation would go for the both of you. I want to thank everyone that, again, offered their options to me. And again, thank you for getting this far in my video. And I hope it helps one person today in moving forward when someone tells you that they may have lost somebody dear to them.